Good evening. A second life has been lost in what's now been revealed as a murder-suicide at Hope Island. Families say Bob Marsh was always smiling. Horror marked his final days after the grandfather was trapped inside a burning home set alight by a trusted family friend.
Dad, Grandpa.
His medication's still on the floor.
This is what's left of Bob Marsh's room, seen through the eyes of his granddaughter.
It's so sad. He was so house pride, and to see it looking like this.
It's a walk through Emily Sandham never wanted to do, but felt she had to.
I felt like if I didn't come back, it wasn't going to be real. I had to see it.
After a night of terror on Tuesday that's torn apart a home and the family trapped inside.
I feel like I feel everything and nothing all at the same time.
84-year-old Bob Marsh is dead. His daughter, Kathy Windsor, Emily's mum, in hospital. Kathy's partner in a critical condition. Her son also hospitalised.
I can't even imagine how hurt you could be to do that. You've nearly just wiped out 3 generations of a family. You have to be so broken.
The attacker, a family friend.
I never did I think it would happen from someone that I trusted.
The signs, though, are clear as you walk in.
He did snip the cord.
Then he locked himself in this room.
So this is the room where it all
started.
And ended with him also dying.
And the person you think he is has gone too.
There's a lot to rebuild here, even more to process. What survived is now precious. Dozens of photos, reminders of what can't be taken, years of family memories.
There's so many memories here.
When Bob was well, his daughter didn't have a broken back and was building a future with a partner who's still fighting for life. Declan Milton, 7 News.
And if you or someone you know needs to talk, Lifeline is there 24/7. Their number is 13 11 14. A Brisbane family is desperate for answers after their 21-year-old son fell to his death in London. Jacqueline Robson joins us with the details. Jackie, his father has flown to the UK.
He has, Max. It's been a week since Fletcher Beasley died. The QUT law student is being remembered as funny, loyal, curious about the world and deeply generous. He was with his girlfriend and friends in London last Thursday. British media reporting he fell from a height at Victoria Embankment around 2 in the morning. It's a very popular river walk along the Thames. The incident shut down the road for more than a day. The London coroner has now launched an inquest. The family says it's overwhelmed with the support it received for a fundraiser. The generosity so great, they plan to set up a Fletcher Beasley Fund to help others in similar situations. The Brisbane Boys College graduate leaves behind 2 siblings. His parents, Katrina and Matt, describe his loss as immeasurable. They now want answers into exactly what happened. Max?
Thanks, Jackie. Politicians are warning the brief success of illegal immigrants who made it to shore in Queensland could tempt others to try. A dozen Chinese nationals have been deported, but the government won't say where to.
Chen Wenpeng, 34, a Taiwanese national and one of the alleged masterminds of a people smuggling plot. A 48-hour spiral from shopper to police suspect to facing possibly 20 years jail. In Mandarin, he told a court, "I don't know anything about smuggling any humans." Late today, a 30-year-old Chinese man was also charged, accused of facilitating the boat trip of at least a dozen illegal foreign nationals who arrived in remote Queensland earlier this week.
By the time they woke up this morning, every single one of them had been removed from Australia.
But taken where, no one will confirm.
Those that came ashore in Weipa are now in detention.
This, another breach of Australia's 34,000-kilometre coastline.
It highlights a long-standing challenge for Australian border security.
So why target Weipa, population 4,000, because it is so remote?
The smugglers, they're not stupid, right?
Experts on human trafficking and crime gangs say it's unlikely smugglers would use the same route again, yet political tensions remain high.
This sort of activity is what sends a message to people smugglers, wherever they might be. We can get you into Australia, pay us a big wad of cash and we'll get you there safely.
Not a single successful people smuggling operation under the watch of this government. It's not going to start now.
Still, the region's local Labor MP has taken the extraordinary step of calling on his own party to increase border protection.
As I said, I'm calling for more funding and to expand Operation Broadstar from the Torres Strait into the Cape.
Both of the men charged will face court again tomorrow. Garth Burley, 7 News.
The parents who championed Australia's social media ban have criticised the Coalition and Greens for delaying an expansion to the powers. Communications Minister Annika Wells delivered these words from campaigner Wayne Holdsworth.
This is absolutely pathetic, and I want to meet Angus Taylor and look him in the eye and tell him the actual damage this will cause.
The proposals will go to a 6-week inquiry before returning to Parliament. Labor's gambling advertising laws are getting the same treatment and will be scrutinised for 8 weeks. The federal government's been forced to change how it determines the level of aged care older Australians receive. They're adding a human check as a new challenger to Anthony Albanese emerges armed with a racket.
Joseph Dowd thought winning tennis with the Prime Minister of the Lodge was going to be a stretch.
Genuinely shocked.
Recording that shocking moment.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. Blasting all bidders from the court at last night's Press Gallery midwinter ball with $16,500 for charity, suddenly looking for a coach.
Well, I heard Nick Kyrgios recently retired. If he wants a gig, mate, tell him to come right down.
The Sydney mortgage broker wants to give the PM a real serve. He spent thousands on billboards slamming the budget and now wants to argue his case in the court of public opinion. His preferred umpire, no fan of the PM.
Hughesy, Dave Hughes.
Anthony Albanese today returning serve.
If it's a choice between someone who's in the sector somewhere and who's got enough money to buy billboards and spend all this, or first home buyers struggling to get into a home, I'm for the first home buyers.
The main political game today, aged care. The government adding another level of human oversight to ensure assessments by computer algorithms deliver the right level of care. A primary assessment by a trained clinician will be filtered through a computer checklist for consistency, then reviewed by a separate delegate with a new avenue for appeal. But the Coalition, Greens and Crossbench want complete human oversight.
We've sent a very clear message to the government that we are not going to sit idly by and let them persecute older Australians' needs.
There is human oversight over all of these processes.
That new review process now going out for consultation.
So, Mark Riley, will this ensure patients receive the right amount of care?
Well, that's the objective, Max, and importantly the sector seems to think that it will. The government insists the algorithms smooth out massive inconsistencies, people with similar circumstances receiving very different levels of care depending on the view of the individual clinicians. And the government says the multi-party alternative from the Senate would only delay those services by several months and add hundreds of millions of dollars in extra costs. Max.
Mark Riley in Canberra.